The rejection you've been trying so hard to avoid isn't your enemy. It's your greatest ally. And no, this isn't about giving you false hope or sugarcoating the reality of rejection. It hurts, but it awakens you. Do you know why rejection hurts so much? It's because rejection doesn't reflect on the other person. It reflects on you. It's about everything inside of you that's unresolved, everything that you haven't faced yet. When someone tells you no, they aren't really rejecting you. They're rejecting something in you, something you might not even want to acknowledge about yourself. Carl Jung said that everything we find irritating in others can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves. Here's the truth. Rejection is no accident. It shows up at the very moment you need to wake up, when it's time for you to evolve. Think about the last time someone rejected you. Relive that pain again for 1 second, because what if I told you that pain is the best thing that could ever happen to you? Instead of weakening you, it made you indestructible. Here's the thing. Every time you seek external approval, you become fragile. You become a slave to opinions you can't control. And in that moment, you lose what truly makes you magnetic, because true attraction doesn't come from constant acceptance. It comes from the mystery of self-sufficiency. When you stop desperately seeking approval, you begin to project a magnetic strength and irresistible power. The world senses that you no longer need it, and that's what makes you captivating. Now here's the uncomfortable truth that few want to face. The more you chase after someone's approval, the more they reject you. Why does this happen? Because the human mind despises neediness. It doesn't matter how good your intentions are, how sincere you are. If you come off as desperate, you're going to be rejected. Detachment is true power. Not because it makes you indifferent, but because it reveals a deeper truth. You are already enough. But how do you get there? How do you become self-sufficient? The answer is simple, but uncomfortable. You must embrace your shadow. That part of you that you hide or you hate. Jung called this process individuation, integrating all of your broken parts into one whole. Only when you've achieved this will you free yourself from the judgments of others. Because here's the truth. No one can truly reject you unless you reject yourself. Think about how many times you've betrayed yourself in pursuit of someone else's approval. How many times did you compromise losing your authenticity in the process? And then, ironically, you were rejected for not being real. The secret here is that real attraction isn't manipulation or cheap tricks. It's the pure manifestation of someone who has faced their shadows and stopped seeking validation from the outside world. Real attraction comes when you choose yourself unconditionally. The world is full of people begging for attention and desperate for validation. You need to stop being one of them. Choose your own path, even if no one understands it, even if it means temporary solitude. Because that's where your true power lies. You're not alone because of weakness. You're alone by choice. And that choice radiates strength, courage, and magnetism. People sense it, even if they don't fully understand it. That's the true definition of attraction. Rejection doesn't break you. It builds you. Every no you receive is an opportunity to look inward and ask, why do I crave the approval of others so much? Why do I give so much power to people who don't even control their own lives? Rejection awakens you. It forces you to face yourself, to confront what you haven't yet resolved. Every rejection is a mirror, showing you exactly who you are and what you need to overcome to grow. The discomfort of rejection is its greatest gift. It doesn't lie. It shows you your weaknesses, but also your potential. So listen carefully. Stop running from rejection. Embrace every no as a door to your own emotional freedom. Accept it as a sign to stop seeking external approval and begin building your self-esteem from scratch. It's not easy, it's not quick, but it's the only authentic way to live. True attraction doesn't come when you mold yourself to fit others' desires. It comes when you mold yourself into who you truly are. When you understand this, rejection loses its power. You regain your own power. Rejection is just the beginning of your true potential. And here's the most intriguing part. While you're desperately seeking approval, you're ignoring the one rejection that really matters. It's rejection of yourself. How many times have you ignored what you truly want to fit into a mold that isn't yours? The most dangerous rejection is the one that happens silently, subtly, within you. It's the rejection of your own desires, your own truth. It's self-inflicted. What's truly dark isn't when someone tells you no. It's when you tell yourself no. Your inner dialogue gets harsher and more ruthless than anything anyone else could say. It's where the real rejection lies. Until you face your shadow, it will continue to control your life from the darkness. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's the part of you that needs attention, acceptance, and reconciliation. If you look closely at your life, you'll see patterns, unhealthy relationships, uncomfortable situations, and conflicts that keep repeating. This isn't a coincidence. It's your shadow trying to get your attention. Every repetition is a message, an inner call that you've been ignoring. So what if instead of running from rejection, you stopped and listened to it? What if you began facing what you fear to discover about yourself? This is where Jungian psychology comes in. To become a complete person, you must face your inner chaos, your insecurities, and deepest fears. Until you face them, you'll keep seeking outside for what you can only find within. Outside, there are only distorted mirrors. What you seek is within you, in those dark corners you've never dared enter. Yes, they are dangerous, but only by facing that darkness do you discover the true potential of who you are. The paradox is that the more you protect yourself from rejection, the more you reject yourself. The more you try to fit in, the more you lose your authenticity. The more you chase, the more you push away what you desire. Most people live in fear of rejection. They wear layers and masks to avoid confronting the truth. But this is what destroys them. The ones you admire, the ones who seem to have a magnetic presence, are the ones who chose themselves. They faced their shadow. They stopped seeking validation from others. They chose to live by their own rules, not the rules imposed on them. That's where their attraction lies. They don't manipulate, they don't chase, they just are. And that's what makes them magnetic. Reverse psychology isn't a trick. It's the natural result of someone who has accepted themselves fully. They don't seek validation. They stopped chasing it, and that's what draws people in. True detachment isn't indifference. It's understanding that your worth doesn't depend on external approval. When you reach that point, you stop needing others to validate you. And when you stop seeking validation, life begins to flow toward you naturally.